So you've been looking online and you're thinking about moving to New Haven, Connecticut, but you've come across this other town named Hamden. You've seen everything online, but it's such a big town with so many different areas and so many different things to do that you're not really sure where to begin. So in this video, I'm going to teach you everything there is to know about Hamden and take you on a tour of the entire town in about 15 minutes or less. What's up, everybody? I'm Joe Cafasa with eXp Realty, and I know everything there is to know about Hamden, Connecticut, and New Haven, Connecticut. If this is your first time to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever we release new videos. We do tons of videos, and we will teach you everything there is to know about the area. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Honestly, we get so many phone calls, emails, and text messages that we love helping people move to the greater New Haven area. If you're thinking about moving to the area, make sure you reach out to us, send us a text, give us a call, send us an email. Any way that you want to communicate with, we'll be there for you. So you're investigating Hamden, Connecticut. You're most likely moving to the town from out of state or from out of the area, and you may be looking to move here because of one of our universities that are either in or surrounding the town. So Hamden is a very large town, and if you're not from the area, you could be overwhelmed by the size and the different neighborhoods and the different amenities that town has to offer. So what I want to do is take you through a map, and I have some footage of driving through different neighborhoods that I'm going to drop in and overlay it. But I want to give you all the insights of what I know as a person who's lived in Hamden for over 20 years of their adult life in different neighborhoods. I want to show you what I know about the town and what you should look for and not look for, depending on what your situation is and why you're looking to move to Hamden. So as I mentioned, we have several different universities in the area. First, in the northern part of town, we have Quinnipiac University. In the southern part of town, we have Yale to our south in New Haven. We have Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, right on the Hamden border. Part of the buildings are in Hamden as well. And we have Albertus Magnus College. So we have four major universities in the area that a lot of draw to the area is people from moving out of state to have jobs at these universities. So what I've done here is the outline of the town. So we have several towns bordering Hamden. We have Bethany, we have Cheshire, we have Wallingford, we have North Haven. Further south we have New Haven, and then on the other side we have Woodbridge. So as you can see, it's a very large town. We actually have 9 different elementary school systems. If you have kids in the elementary school, we have 1 middle school and 1 high school. So in the upper part of town, right on the Cheshire border, we have Brooksvale Park. This is one of the nicest parks in the area, in my opinion. It has hiking trails, it has a petting zoo, it has a pond where you could go fishing. It has a lot of amenities that people in the northern part of town really appreciate. And if you don't know about Brooksvale Park, you really need to. They do, in March, they do maple sugar harvesting so that they can make syrup. It has a lot of different things to offer. We have Sleeping Giant State Park. This is a state park, so if you're a Connecticut resident, you get free access to the park, and it's wonderful. It has miles of hiking trails. You have different entrances. You have one from the Wallingford side, actually 2 from the Wallingford side, and you have several different entrances on the Hamden border, and it is situated directly across the street from Quinnipiac University. So in the northern part of town, it's more of a rural situation. You have larger lots. You don't have sidewalks to walk on, but you have quieter, cul-de-sac streets in a lot of the area, or cut-through streets to different towns. So one of the things that you're going to look for, if you're not familiar with well and septic, you want to really take a look at if that's something that you're interested in having. Like I said, I've lived in Hamden. I primarily had homes with public water, public sewer. I just moved right across actually right about there, into Bethany, and we have well and septic. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's really not a big deal. But if you're not familiar with those two systems, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So one of the things about Hamden is, since it is such a large town, people get overwhelmed, and here's one of the best ice cream spots right next to Sleeping Giant, by the way, Wentworth's. So it's overwhelming. If you're trying to get from one side of town to the other and you don't know the back roads, it can be overwhelming. So Route 10, this is Whitney Avenue, and then it turns into Dixwell Avenue, and it goes all the way down to the New Haven border. So if you're going to work at Yale, primarily at the hospital, it's a really long commute if you're taking Route 10 all the way, and you have tons of traffic lights. You have a lot of shopping, which I'll show you down here in a minute. So it can be very overwhelming. So what you want to do is learn different routes. So for instance, Route 40. So if you're in the northern part of town, you hop on the Route 40 connector and it takes you right down to I-91. So that will shave, if you're trying to get to the hospital, that easily shaves 20 minutes off your commute. And probably without traffic, you're looking at I'd say probably 12 to 15 minute commute from the northern end of town all the way down to the hospital. If you're going to, say, the School of Management, the law school, or Central Campus, you could also take the Route 40 connector, jump off exit 3 on I-91, that's Trumbull Street. You could even do like exit 5 or 6, and you could take the back roads from there, again, shaving a lot of time off. So when you're coming down through Hamden, you have Shepherd Ave, which is another cut-through street. This has a little bit more of an industrial park feeling. You have a soccer arena, you have gymnastics places, you have, there's a catering, like a wedding venue, but you have a lot more of a industrial feel this way. Evergreen Avenue, I'll take you through some of the side streets here. This is an area that was Anderson Farm Road over here. That was built in the late 70s, early to mid 80s. My mom, who's also a realtor, she actually started in the business by selling a 150 home subdivision in this area. So these were built primarily in the early to mid 80s. A lot of split level homes, a lot of raised ranches. If you're moving to the area and you're not a student, one thing to look for, especially in the northern end of town, is student rentals. So you will have a lot of college students living in this neighborhood. Rental properties, 3 to 4 students per home. So that may be what you're looking for, or it may not. It does get kind of loud. I used to live right off of Evergreen over here, and it does get, a little bit of a party atmosphere, so you want to definitely make sure that you investigate that. Another great restaurant, Side Street Bar and Grill. Again, college bar, but has incredible wings. Now, coming down into the center part of town, you have Route 10 changes from Whitney Avenue, and then it changes over to Dixwell Avenue. So Whitney Avenue continues down, goes into Spring Glen, it goes into the Yale University side of New Haven, whereas Dixwell Avenue, that goes more towards the hospital end, Southern Connecticut State University, so you kind of have a split here. So I'm going to take you through, if you come over to like Paradise Ave, this is the upper edge of town. It connects Bethany and Woodbridge. You have Hindinger Farm, which again, a little petting zoo. It has pumpkins. It has a lot of like a fruit stand, and they actually do. You could buy fresh produce there. You could do a share where a couple families get together and they purchase an annual subscription, and then you dole out the different types of produce. But one thing about Hindinger is in the back of Hindinger Farm, you have the nicest view in town. You could see all the way down to Long Island Sound. You could do the same thing at Sleeping Giant, but Sleeping Giant, you have to walk for about half an hour to see the same thing. Hindinger, you park your car there, you walk to the back of the building, and you could see, on a beautiful day, you could see all the way down to the Sound. So one of my favorite views in town. Lake Wintergreen, another park. They do kayaking here. You have hiking trails. I love to take my family down here. My son caught his first fish right over in this corner of the pond. Real nice area. And then West Rock State Park goes into New Haven. And again, you could drive up to the top of West Rock and see some beautiful views. This part of town, Wooden Street, Circular Avenue, Pine Rock, you have a lot more rental properties. So this is where the majority of the multifamily homes are situated in town. So if you're looking for a multifamily, which you could get a really nice 2-family house, which one side will pay for your entire mortgage. So you're basically living there for free. This is a great area. The 3 families are a little bit more pricey and far fewer in between, so you're really looking at like a 2-family house over here. Again, really nice option to have tenants pay for the mortgage. So coming back down this way, you could go Mix Avenue, which is right around here. and this is where all the shopping is. So if you come down Dixwell Avenue, and in the back is Mix Avenue. In the back you have a lot of condos, you have a lot of apartment buildings. So if you're looking to move to the area and rent, you have great apartments here. If you're looking to move to the area and purchase a condo, you have some great options. One thing to keep in mind in Hamden, you have two different types of mortgages. Primarily, you have conventional loans, you have FHA. Primarily, I think there's one complex all the way up near Sleeping Giant that's FHA approved, but the majority of condos in Hamden are not FHA approved. So if you're looking for a condo, just keep that in mind. It might be a little bit difficult, but if you're looking for an apartment, this is a great place to look. And again, between Dixwell and Mix Ave, you have all sorts of shopping. You have Kohl's, you have ShopRite, you have Stop and Shop for grocery stores, you have Walmart, you have little boutique type stores, you have Burlington Coat Factory, you have a lot of chain restaurant, you have God, I don't even know what's down there anymore. But you have a lot of restaurants. You have, this is primarily where you're going to be doing shopping. You could also go into North Haven, right down here off of Sackett Point Road, and you have more shopping. But primarily in Hamden, this is where all of your shopping is. And you continue down, you have Home Depot, you have U-Haul, you have Enterprise Car Rental if you're looking to rent a car for a day or whatever. But this is where all of your shopping is going to be. Continuing down, again, you have more of an industrial feel here. You have a trampoline park. They keep opening new businesses. They're really trying to develop the lower end of Dixwell Avenue. And then you have Whitneyville. So Putnam Avenue all the way over to Mather Street. This is the Whitneyville area of New Haven. This way as well, all the way to the New Haven border, basically. And what's nice about the Whitneyville area, this is where I last lived in Hamden. Very straight shot right into, if you're working at the university at the central campus, straight shot. I think it's less than 3 miles all the way down to the green. So a lot of people take bicycles to work. You can drive, obviously, but you could take a bus, you could take a bicycle, Uber. It's all really easy to commute to New Haven, and the prices are far less than if you're looking to move into, say, like the Ridge Hill or the Prospect Street area of or East Rock Park or East Rock section of New Haven. The prices are much, much lower. Then if you travel north again, coming back up from the border, here's Spring Glen. Spring Glen is probably the most sought after neighborhood in Hamden. You have same vintage homes, mostly the 20s and 30s, but a little bit larger, a little bit more spread out than Whitneyville. Whitneyville, you're probably at like 1/10 of an acre for a backyard, whereas Spring Glen, you're up to half or a quarter of an acre. So again, both of these areas, you're on public water, public sewer. You have a lot of natural gas, and that's one other thing. Northern Hamden, a lot of the area does not have natural gas. You're on oil for heating. So down here you have a lot of natural gas, public water, public sewer. You have sidewalks. And again, on Whitney Avenue, you have some cute little restaurants. You have a Walgreens. You have a little more boutique-y feel to the area. So that's, if you're looking to work for Yale, this is definitely one neighborhood that you're going to want to check out. One thing about Hamden, obviously, and I'm sure you've seen this, is that the taxes are pretty high. So different areas have lower taxes. For instance, Spring Glen versus Whitneyville, you're going to get higher taxes in Spring Glen because they value the homes higher than Whitneyville. So everything's kind of a toss-up. But hopefully this video has shown you a little bit more about the area. That's really about it for the size of the area. I mean, you have different areas as well. Over Hartford Turnpike, you have cute little neighborhoods. But these are pretty much all the different types of neighborhoods that there are in Hamden. And I've literally taken you on a map of the entire town. If you're looking in Hamden, you'll also want to look in North Haven. So for instance, in this section of North Haven, it's right literally on the border. There's some streets here that part of the road is in North Haven, part is in Hamden. So our towns here, opposed to if you're looking like in Boston, it's considered Boston, but you have a lot of different neighborhoods, and it's a much greater densely populated area and a bigger geographic area. Our towns are kind of separated, so a lot of people say we want to move to New Haven, but really what they mean is we want to move to the greater New Haven area, which is New Haven, North Haven, Hamden, even across into East Haven. There's a lot of different areas that you'll be interested in. So if you have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you. Please send me an email, text, give me a call. Any way that you want to be communicated with, I will be there to help you with. Have a great day.